Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. We can observe continuous correction here on the Cardano chart. What I need to say again is it's not doing anything different than other cryptos, yeah? The only thing that it is doing different, it is less volatile than many other cryptos. And that could really have to do with the situation that ADA is staked. A lot of ADA is just staked away in the ADA stake pools. By the way, I'm actually looking at potentially opening my own stake pool. Need to do a bit of work for that, but that is something that might be coming because, as you know, ADA is one of my biggest holdings still. Yeah, and that just had to do with the situation that I bought it really bloody cheap back in 2020. I was really lucky with that one. And therefore it just has a large portion in my portfolio. This did shrink compared to other cryptos, yeah, because I did increase my portfolio or other cryptos in my portfolio, but ADA still is one of the largest chunks. And yeah, think I could do that. Looking forward to that. So let's see. But generally, where are we here? Also in terms of the Elliott wave count, in my view, what we have here is a second wave 2 at the moment. So we can see back here that first peak, that was a wave 1 back in January 2018. Yeah, based on the Elliott wave method. We have then come down in a wave 2 that was here back in March 2020. That was the COVID low. Yeah, and we are not in a wave 3. No, we are here in a second wave 1. We did that second wave 1 here. That was the then all-time high back in May. Came down in a wave A, moved up in a wave B, an overshooting wave B, absolutely possible. And now we are in this wave 2 of this wave pattern, which means the next wave up should be a wave 3. Then you get your wave 4, then you get your wave 5. What you then do when you complete that wave 5, and that would be this wave degree, yeah, in that highlighted here with these brackets and the green color. When you complete this fifth wave, then you will have only completed the third wave in white. Okay, then you get a fourth wave and a fifth wave and so on. So just shows that Cardano really has good long-term potential here in terms of what the chart structure is doing. So from a long-term point of view, really interesting. And also for me personally, these are really good prices. In my view, we are here in the last leg of the correction. So back from the all-time high, the price has now corrected down. And let's just take a look. The price has corrected down here, around 75%. That is in no means more than other cryptos. Yeah, it is even less than some other cryptos. Some other cryptos, even top 10, top 20 projects. I'm not sure about the top 10, but top 20 projects, top 30 projects, they have corrected down. Some of them 80%. I've even seen cryptos 85%, and I'm not talking about micro caps here. Okay, so it is just doing what other cryptos are doing as well. It's just doing it a bit slower, and it is less volatile. So that is just what you get, but that's not necessarily a problem, especially not for people who are interested in more like a long-term investment. But there you go. We are still heading into the direction of this target area here. In my view, the 30 to 55 cents is still realistic. I would prefer that 55-cent level. I think that is absolutely realistic, which doesn't mean that we could not short-term see some upside potential. Absolutely. I mean, you could see here some short-term upside potential all the way up to that wave 4 top, for example, at 160 easily. For that, Cardano would need to break out of this descending channel. Yeah, absolutely. But it is possible. Yeah, but I would not personally be of the view that we have completed here the correction until we get the first impulse to the upside. So what I'm actually looking for to really be more confident, because Cardano has really had a very long journey now, since September 21 actually, and you could even argue that actually the correction already started in May 21. Yes, it sounds a bit crazy because we did a massive new all-time high back in September, but looking at the Elliott wave count, you would argue that you had your wave A to the downside, and you came when your corrective wave B, which was that all-time high, it was just an overshooting one. Yeah, wave Bs often do that, but all of that is actually part of that correction. The thing is, what you get, these overshooting wave Bs, you get in the right environment, and it was a very bullish environment for crypto at the time. So that's why you get that, right? And now you're coming down. And what you want to see now is just looking at the Elliott wave pattern. What I would be looking for. Not that. Take that out. So something like that, where you get your first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 No, that was supposed to start somewhere else. So down here, where you get your first 5-wave move to the... look at that, it was completely messed up. Start once more, where you get your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I would want to see that first wave 1 and then the wave 2 dip, and that would be where I would be more confident to say, okay, we've seen the low. Yeah, so not FOMOing into that first pump, but into that and again, that wouldn't be FOMOing, but buying into that dip. That is typically the silver bullet that you're looking for. And that could be the case, for example, if Bitcoin activates that alternative scenario that I've talked about, right? That sort of shorter term bullish scenario. In that scenario, Cardano could obviously move up maybe also 20-30%. Some people might want to take profits then. And then in that wave 2, the price would come down again to maybe, the 88.7% fib level, okay? That is what I'd be looking for here. Very short term. Yeah, I mean, yesterday we saw Cardano break above this previous support again, but it didn't really hold, broke below it, retested again, and is hovering below that line again. So you can draw it more accurately here. That was that neckline of that head and shoulders. To be honest, since that head and shoulders pattern really, and that was broken, we haven't really seen this play out to the downside. It has pretty much been sideways, that movement. So at the moment, really sideways movement between this range here, you could argue between 75 cents and probably more about this one here and $1.01, $1.02. Yeah, so pretty much in this range here. And are we forming a triangle? Maybe, not very clear in my view. Yeah, so you've got that, and if we just do that, you get here a bit of a triangle pattern. So it doesn't need to play out, but what you could argue that you get some decreasing volume and less volatility, and you get squeezed into the apex and could then see a breakout here in the next couple of days probably. Yeah, but it's not a very clear triangle. Yes, you've got a ascending support line down here, and you've got 2 touch points up there. So yeah, you could argue it's a triangle, and that would rather be could argue that it's a bearish pennant, right? You're moving down here and get you sort of a symmetrical triangle, which would then break to the downside and could take us really a chunk lower. But we are really here in sideways movement, so just need a bit of patience. And really, I wouldn't expect anything crazy here until we break either to the upside of the $1.01 level or to the downside, the 75-cent level. This is sort of the range in which we currently are operating. Yeah, that would take it to the next level if we break out here. But primarily, my view is that we go to this range here, at least the 55-cent level. That is a 78.6% fib level. That is what I would be personally waiting for. Looking generally, it's not even much point here looking at the indicators because it is just hovering and moving sideways. The RSI, since September, we've been talking about it. It has pretty much been here in the lower range, in the bearish range. Hasn't really moved a lot. There were a few fake outs, yes, but even you can see the decreasing volatility now here on the MACD as well. Little bit bearish, but pretty much sideways. So until the market is really deciding here, and maybe that could happen after the breakout of that triangle, then we see a clearer direction. Overall, sideways also here on the MACD. I mean, on the 4-day chart, you see continuously decreasing momentum, but also here it failed to really do something really bullish. So you saw decreasing negative momentum, but since then it has just moved sideways. Yeah, so it just doesn't get really that bullish momentum it needs at the moment. The weekly continues to decrease here, the selling momentum, but also the MACD line has not turned around yet. So also here nothing too crazy, and the MACD on the monthly is heading further down. Third buy in a row in red now, which you could argue is good because it's further advanced than some other cryptos because it has already started that correction way earlier. We are now here for the second time ever in the oversold range on the stochastic RSI on the monthly. I think that is quite significant. When that happened before, we saw moves to new all-time highs, but it can take a while until it then really picks up. But this is definitely, not definitely, let me correct it, but some people might argue that's a buy signal, all right? Absolutely. Being oversold on the stochastic on the monthly, even on the weekly, you're oversold, yeah, on the stochastic RSI. not yet on the normal RSI. Yeah, that's my view here on Cardano. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment for the algorithm. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.